My heart's a stereo. It beats for you, so listen close. Hear my thoughts in every note. Oh oh. Make me your radio. Where the okay, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. What is everything okay? We're gonna do casual mode because I believe I'm supposed to do something in casual mode. I don't remember exactly what though. Oh, missions. Okay, weekly. Great career. Okay. We are supposed to do something casual mode, so we'll try casual mode. We'll try casual mode. We're gonna do like 2 of these. We'll do like 2. Probably. I was already streaming today, so this morning. So, well, I say this morning. It was like a few hours ago. Um. So yeah. All right. I just realized it doesn't say estimated time. Alright, well, I know how to make this go faster. If I go here and I start opening stuff, then it's gonna be like, oh, sorry, yeah, we suddenly want to go now. Watch this, watch. I'm gonna want to open this. Moment we open it, it's gonna be like, oh, we suddenly want to go now. Oh, now okay. Um, career. Open this, maybe? Hey, see? Told ya. Alright. We're gonna, I haven't played this in about like 4 days because, well, I, what's it called? I was on vacation. Look, see, that person's got like a overcoat or a trench coat, whatever. So yeah, we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna be playing. We're only gonna be doing like 2, most likely. Whether I win or not, it's gonna be the same either way. Here we go. A little design choice that I question, even though knowing full well I could not make the same thing. make this the same way, but when like my character has a ponytail, he's wearing a hat. Instead of the ponytail going through the back of the hat where the strap thing is, it's curled up. Anyway, let's see where we are. Alright, where do we want to go? I kind of want to go around, somewhere around here. Maybe here, maybe? I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. I got the song Golden stuck in my head, and I know that I'm not the only one because everyone has it. But it's not just the song Golden, it's the Canadian version of Golden. Canadian version of Golden. I don't remember what his name is, but he made like a Canadian parody of that song. And now it's stuck in my head. I hope there's no one else here. Alright, here we go. I didn't really... I'll be completely honest. Didn't really want to stream. I honestly was like, I don't really want to stream right now. Stream today. Gonna take this instead. Gonna wear this. Can't put that on, so... Okay, we're gonna have that. Send 62. I can put that on. Yeah, backpack. Okay, I know that the pan is better. Should probably get this as well. There we go. Okay. No, there was another one. Well, I'm more of thinking of like things to talk about. I have a topic, but it's more of I'm trying to figure out how I want to go about talking about it. Because the topic is faith, about like God, Jesus, and I know that there are gonna be people that are gonna be coming in here and being like trying to disprove that God exists or how God doesn't exist, trying to like prove that He doesn't. Because like when they're like, well, show me proof that He does, and I'll pull out my Bible like. There are 66 books in this thing that explain how He is real. 66 of them. There's even a book in there that explains how meaningless everything is without Him because He made everything, and without Him, none of this could have been around. And so it's no, I'm gonna go to circle and. Like, read the book of Ecclesiastes. I believe it's like 12 chapters long. That's Exodus. For the longest time, I read it as Exodius. Samuel, Kings, Chronicles, Ezra, Job. Psalms, Proverbs. That's Isaiah. No, it's right after. Yep, Ecclesiastes. Yep, 12 chapters long. 12 chapters long. Now, not to mention that there's several historical moments that even show that God exists, that the Bible is real. Not to mention that they found like where like how do I explain this? Where the sea was split and was parted, in where that's explained in Exodus. The pillar of salt from Lot's wife, where Sodom and Gomorrah were, where Moses struck the what's it called? The stone and made water. Several places that Jesus went to. So like if I were like personally me, I don't really have the knowledge of which, nor like the full wisdom of of the ability to prove to you. All right, I myself. However, there was one point that this person tried coming to me and trying to prove that God didn't exist, but and which I wouldn't say it's the dumbest way. Like it was extremely stupid how they tried this, but like there are more stupid ways of doing this, but this was pretty stupid. They tried to prove to me that God didn't exist by explaining how by naming off. And come to think of it, he only named off like one guy. He tried doing it by naming off smart people that are atheists. If I were to do the same thing but name smart people who believed in God, I would be and use the same exact logic that that guy used. I would be told, okay, well that doesn't mean anything. That's what would happen. And there are people that, honestly, I really believe that I really believe that just will not believe it no matter what. Like, you'll ask somebody, what is... Like, okay. Shit, what was I gonna say? I've already messed up. Okay, I can't bring it onto that, but what I can do you know, nah. I'd be okay with those boots literally. I'll take that. Sure, why not? Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna go at. Where you'd say, like, they would say, oh, like I would ask them, what kind of proof, like, what would get you to start believing in God? And the person would say, well, I would need him to do this. I was like, okay, but the problem is that if God decided, okay, yes, I'm going to prove that I exist to this person by showing them exactly what they want, that person would be like, oh, no, that's probably coincidence. They would need to do this. God would need to do this. And God's like, okay. And then the person's like, no, 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 no. That's not what I meant. And no matter what no matter what they say, if God decides to do that, if God decides I'm gonna prove to them that I exist by showing them this exactly what they want, they're still not going to. They're still not going to. They're still not going to. What's it called? But they're still not going to believe. And and a little bit of like an example actually came up when I was scrolling at one point, and Neil deGrasse Tyson actually was talking at one point, and he was explaining that there was somebody who didn't believe that the moon landing was real, and Neil asked the person, okay, well, what would be needed to convince you that the moon landing happened? And the person said, oh, well, I would need to see a video of them actually landing on the moon. And so Neil was like, okay, well, here is the actual video from when they actually landed on the moon in 1969. In 1969, when they landed on the moon from NASA. And the person said, oh, well, NASA could have faked that. And Neil's reaction to that was, we are done here. Because you have chosen to just not believe, even if there is evidence showing if there was irrefutable evidence. I remember that there's this pastor that I say pastor. I don't know if he's a pastor or just a guy who just does, or a preacher, whichever one. What's the difference? Yes. But there's somebody goes up to him and says, show me the medical records from when Jesus was around. And he says they didn't have it back then. She's like, oh, wow, what a coincidence. They didn't have it. And it's like, show me the medical records of... Fuck, that scared me. Sorry, hold on. Oh, that, yeah. And it was, show me the medical records from when Jesus was alive. And he said they didn't have medical records back then. And they're like, oh, wow, really? What a coincidence. And he went on explaining, what a coincidence. To which I thought the same thing. Yeah, you're going based on your proof that you want to prove that somebody existed is medical records. But you're asking to show you medical records from a guy who lived in a time where medical records didn't really exist. And by medical records, I mean like hospital, all that stuff. Like the medical records that we have today, those stuff. But here's the thing, if that is your proof, then according to that exact logic of the only proof you need for that person to have existed is like medical documents, medical records, like the stuff that we get in hospitals today, Alexander the Great didn't exist, according to that same exact logic. Anyway, on to the next video. I'm recording this as filler videos. But, Yeah. Let's see what we got. Let's open up all this stuff. But like, no there are some people where. Hold on, I'll get back into it in the next time. What? Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay. Wait, how the fuck did I get? No, don't question it. Do not question. Wait, I just realized I'm playing in and okay. I can go to rush. Well, at the latest, I most likely will be on the plane by the time I get back. Did not take long. Ah, hey, we're doing this. All right. All right. Anyway, okay, we're back. Ninth anniversary. Wait, really? This is the ninth? Honestly, I thought it was on longer than that. Huh. Pub 9. Nice. Okay, so where do we want to go? We'll probably go somewhere around here. Okay, we're gonna be going this way, all the way over here. But anyway, as I was saying, people will say, yeah, they want this to happen. If God was real, then He would do this, He would do that. But then God comes along and is like, okay, and does exactly what they want. But then they would be like, huh. But then they would just either ignore it or they would just say it's just a coincidence. It's like, no, no, you asked and you received. Ask and thou shalt receive. Okay, here we go. Just getting some stuff first. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, I guess 3x scope for now. I don't have weapon yet. Oh, hey, we got a weapon. Okay, 3x scope is going on. Yep, okay. One more round. One more round. That was way too short. That was fast. Alright, here we go. That's the PewDiePie bridge. Alright. Okay, let's see. We're gonna drop like around here. Why not? You know, I'm starting to realize that's where all of that was. Is it gonna be like just this month or are people already flying out? Yep. You wanna know something? Back when I first started playing this, I would notice people immediately start like ejecting themselves out, and I could not for the life of me figure out why immediately. I didn't understand why. I was like, what is the strategy here? Everyone else is doing the same thing. Everyone else is sharing the same exact mindset as you. And yeah, sure, maybe people are also sharing the same exact mindset as me when it comes to going out a lot later, but the difference is not as many people. Anyway, back to what I was saying, is that you can show somebody irrefutable proof showing that God exists. God can even come down to that person and say, "Hey, I exist. As you can see, I am here," and people would still be like, "Nah," simply because they refuse to believe. Okay, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna use this backpack. Okay, let's hope that we find something. Please be something. Okay, can I put this on here? Yes, I can. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take this. Oh, this is gonna take a bit. Ooh. I'll take this. I'll take this. You know, I'll just take this just for right now. Also, I need to start getting to the to circle. So, like, just like there's sometimes where I just don't understand like why you will say, "Oh yeah, if this is shown to me, then I will start believing." But the problem is, even if that is shown to you, you will still not believe. You won't believe. You still won't believe because you will just refuse to believe. Hold on. Someone's gonna like listen to what I said about the about like the what's called about like NASA going to the moon and saying, "Well, that's not the same thing." No, but the principle is the same. I'll take that actually. Don't need that. I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. Hold on. The It may not be the same exact concept, but the principle is still the same. You will say, "Oh, this doesn't exist," and I will say, "Okay, well, how would I get you to believe in this thing? What would you need in order to believe in this thing?" And he's like, "Oh, I would need proof." And I'll be like, "Okay, here is proof." And you would say, "No, no, that could be fake." At that point, it's not like you don't want to believe. You just do not want to. No amount of proof is going to show you. I can show you irrefutable proof, show you exactly what you want to see, and you will still find a way to somehow for it to say that somehow it is not correct, that it is not real, that it is fake. Which brings me to another thing of like I'll see like people like bowing down and worshiping things because why? Because it's like, well, why? Because because they want to like worship something as a god or something like that because they believe it to be a god. But these are the same people that will also turn around and say, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing that because it just looks weird. Weird. You praying to Jesus or praying to God." Like they will say, oh no, what you're worshiping is ridiculous, and okay, I thought that was some is ridiculous and fake. Why would you? Why would you even listen to something like that? You keep going this way. Like, why would you even listen to something like that? But then they will turn around and listen to something that's even more ridiculous. Like, oh, I don't want to pay attention to that because it's obviously fake, and why would I want to ever, like, waste my time with something fake? Anyway, Harry Potter is really fun. It's like, you just said you didn't want to waste your time with anything fake, or with something fake. But then you turned around and then explained how something that's obviously fake, that is even fiction, and said that say that you put all your attention to that. Look, I'm not saying that you have to. Okay, I'm not trying to force anybody into doing something. All right? I'm not trying to like shove religion down people's throats. People are going to come in and be like, "Why are you talking about that stuff here?" Hold on. Okay, well that's it. But you'll tell me that it is fake and therefore it is like ridiculous, but then you'll go at something that's like 10 times more ridiculous and be completely fine with that. I don't look, you clicked on the stream. You clicked on this video. You came into this. You could have gone away at any point, but you decided to stay. So, yeah. See you guys. Anyway, that's going to be it.